Oh no.
What's going on, guys? This is Yellow One back with some more gameplay footage of Destiny Rising, and this is the beta that's been going on for about a week now. I did get a chance to participate in the alpha, and so what I'll do is I'll put a playlist together on my channel that shows all the gameplay footage that I have from both the alpha and the beta. I recently uploaded just about a week or two ago the footage from the raid that took place during the alpha. I had a pretty solid team of guys that were able to beat the final boss of the raid during the alpha, and it was awesome. Now we got to talk about this beta here, which I believe right now is exclusive to Android phones, and so I'm playing on an Android phone, and it's not even the newest device that's out. You know, the XPERIA 1 Mark V that I've been playing with uses the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor for its graphics, and my phone has about 12 gigabytes of RAM that's built in. And so just keep in mind of the specs that are used in the phone that I have and how the performance is here in the game. But what I wanted to talk about was the optimization with Destiny Rising. It's actually very impressive, because while the device does get warm when playing the game with different settings, it never loses its it never quite overheats. The game maintains its performance. Now I'm actually using a device that further maintains that performance. The XPERIA Stream accessory has the built-in fan, and also, you know, the phone itself uses different ways to divert heat away from the phone itself so it can perform better. But you should be able to get really good performance on pretty much any Android phone within the past 3 years or so, that the game should be playable. Now I'm able to run the game with maximum settings at 30 frames per second. I can run them at high settings at 40 frames per second. Or I could run them between 50 to 60 frames per second on the standard graphics. And I'll be honest with you, the graphics look pretty good no matter which setting you choose. And if you're playing on a phone, then the graphics are definitely good enough. But you only really notice the difference if you're playing the game on a bigger screen than the phone. Like if you connect the phone to a monitor, or if you connect it to a big screen television and try to play it that way, then you really just have to deal with ways to bring down the latency using the settings of your television or your monitor to get the best experience. But I actually play the game like a console gamer, because that's basically my forte. Coming from the PS5 Pro, using my own PS5 controller to play the game on my phone, connecting it to my phone, it really gives me the best experience when playing Destiny Rising. I will be getting some multiplayer gameplay probably within this week. There's some really good multiplayer footage that I've been able to get so far, but I want to try to get a little bit more footage so we can get a really good example of how it plays online, what it looks like, because I noticed a little bit of difference between that and, say, like Destiny 2 on the PlayStation, right? Or, you know, just Destiny 2 multiplayer in general. Now, during this gameplay, what I'll be doing is I'm actually going to be cycling through the different settings so that you could see how the game performs and what it looks like on your screen. When I'm uploading to YouTube, I'll render the video at 2160p to get the best bitrate possible. But you can take a look at the aliasing, the lighting, overall the graphics, and how they hold up between the different settings. Now, I will say that, like I said, it does look good no matter which setting you choose, with only the sharpness of the edges really being the only thing that I'm noticing between the different settings. Now, I'm assuming that the more RAM that your phone has, the better it's able to run the game at maximum, you know, resolution. If you have a phone like the Galaxy Fold or any of the major Galaxy flagship phones that go beyond 12 gigabytes, you might see one that goes upwards of 16 gigabytes. Those are the type of things that will determine the level of graphics that you can run and the frame rate you can run them at. In fact, you may even be able to run them at max graphics at either 40 or 50 frames per second on a device that has more RAM. Now, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 that's in the XPERIA 1 Mark V still a very good graphics chip, but there are newer ones that are out there that are going to give you much better performance, and more importantly, better performance against heat buildup, because as you deal with the smaller nanometer nodes and some of the newer chips that are in these new phones, they don't build up as much heat. And so a game that's optimized like the way Destiny Rising is should be able to handle the game even without a cooler, without a fan, just playing it straight from the phone. I can't say the same thing about other games that I've played, like Warzone Mobile, where the heat buildup is definitely more of a problem, mainly because the frame rate is unlocked. So Destiny Rising, they actually lock the frames, and that is one of the big reasons why it maintains its performance and prevents heat buildup. So that's something that you can definitely correlate with the overall performance of the game, because they have those limitations. Now, if they release those limitations, that's another thing. That may actually allow the game to open up and have a whole different experience for people that want to play it like that. But it looks like that from the ground up, it's actually built to be with those limitations in mind, which is why if you're emulating the game on PC using BlueStacks or any other emulator, you actually have those same limitations. Whereas I don't believe that you actually go beyond 60 frames per second, if I'm not mistaken. If that is actually the case and you can go beyond 60, please let me know in the comments, because that obviously would make a really big advantage for those that are playing on PC. But I don't think that's the case. So you're seeing the game again, different settings. Now these balance settings are actually very impressive, mainly because, if I'm not mistaken, the actual cinematics and the cutscenes, they have a limitation to the frame rates, and so you might as well just have better resolution on these anyways. But I want you to check out this particular section coming up here in this single player campaign story mission. It's very highly intensive, and when we get to the part where we do the speeder chase, I'm actually not using the high frame rate mode. I'm using one of the I believe I'm using the maximum graphics mode, and so you'll really see the difference in the performance between having the ability to go up to 50 frames per second or having to keep it at a locked 30. And it really just looks like Destiny 1 did on the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. And so the graphics have definitely held up. But let's take a look at some of the story mission gameplay here, and just soak it all in, see how it looks. If you like the way this looks, definitely try the game when it comes out, because I'm thinking that this game is going to be one of the best mobile games on the market. You know that NetEase they're not new to this. They're good at doing mobile games. They'll be dipping their toes in some really high profile games coming up soon, which I'll make other videos about. These guys are definitely earning their stripes. And so enjoy this gameplay, and I'll talk to y'all in a minute here.
These alien bandits are biting off more than they can chew. I found something here. Let's rendezvous at the communications hub.
What are those pikes doing here?
We need to find out.
This is the communications hub. That must be the quantum tuner. Let's see if we can get it out of there. Wolf, I'm going to need protection until I can neutralize the security. Please, stay close to the tuner. Look out! These Fallen are equipped with optical camouflage.
Security credentials verified. Deactivating tuner protection.
We did it! Now grab the tuner and let's scram! Wolf, outside the window! It's that big shake! It's going to tear this place apart!
Hurry! That won't hold it for long! We have to get out of here before the other shanks activate!
There are more?
Leave these marauders to me.
These fires are getting out of control! Run, Wolf!
They grew free faster than I expected. Double time it! Not today! Quick! Jump over here! Wolf, run as fast as you can! Book it!
Fire!
Wolf, shoot the weak spot to interrupt it, or we're all done for!
Leave it to me.
Shouldn't be able to get through here.
Looks like we shook it off.
Temper your optimism with caution.
Lights! These fallen aren't letting up.
Take them out. We can't afford to waste any time. Keep firing! Don't give them a chance to attack!
Shank is back!
Just as expected. These fallen scum wouldn't pass up the chance to hunt down an Iron Lord. As desperate as they can seem, they are cunning hunters. Wolf, disrupt its attack!
I'm trying!
The tunnel collapsed. I think that stopped it.
should you withdraw my restriction?
Just this once.
O Lord mine, speak your wish.
Wish that machine following us would vanish. Where did you make that thing go?
Disappear. That is the Lord's wish. Beyond that is none of my concern.
The power of a wish is never given for free, and a price is always exacted. I only hope that all this was worth it.
Now, I don't know what you think, but I think that shit was pretty fucking awesome. For a mobile game to have that quality of gameplay and cinematics and just the overall, the way it all came together is just absolutely great. So that was one of the missions, and we'll find out pretty soon what the repercussions are for what we did here in trying to make that machine disappear. So we'll have some more gameplay of that soon. But yeah, so basically Destiny Rising is really impressive, honestly. It's absolutely impressive. There's really nothing I could say against it. For a mobile game, you know, mobile games are going to be gacha games at this point. So as far as the gacha aspect of the game, it seems like they have found a good balance even with that. I was not expecting the beta to have anything particularly close to what the alpha had, because the alpha was basically giving you what people would pay for with the full release. They were allocating it to you throughout the whole thing, and so it's a different experience altogether. This my second playthrough with some of the new content that they've added, which I still need to get to. It's like a slow burn. You actually don't need to just no-life it. I think that's probably one of the main issues with Destiny in general, is that people will life the game and then complain once they've already done literally everything after they've spammed it for the past 2 weeks, right? So I'm actually taking a different approach. I'm busy with work. I'm doing other things. I have more important things in my life to attend to. But when I get the time to play this game, I'm enjoying it. And I'm treating it like a console experience, but just in its own little miniature way. And with that, I actually am enjoying it even more than the first time, because it doesn't feel like a chore. Destiny doesn't shy away from the grind aspect of it, but when you take it in spurts and just kind of enjoy it as an RPG that you can jump into and progress and have all the different freedoms that you have, you get more out of it. And one of the things that I really like about it that I don't think a lot of people are talking about as much is the actual diversity of the way that each player controls. Now, of course, Wolf is going to be your main protagonist as you're doing most of these missions for the campaign. But I've been experimenting with characters that I didn't experiment with during the alpha. For example, using Yolder. When I played with Yolder, very quickly, the first thing that popped into my mind was Doom the Dark Ages, because in Doom the Dark Ages that just came out on multiplats, it's you're using a shield to fight through a lot of it. Yolder has a lot of defensive but also offensive capabilities. She's just a juggernaut in the game, and using the shield to throw it around and hit all your enemies and withdraw it back is literally. You're literally playing like the Doomslayer in the game when you pick Yolder. Caber's fucking awesome. There's actually, I believe when you buy the Battle Pass that's available during this beta, you actually get an exotic pulse rifle. And so Yolder's gameplay, when I get the chance, I'm going to show more of that. Caber's has a really, really good pulse rifle. Hopefully I can get the attachment for the pulse rifle that you have. So I'm talking about it now. I'm going to show more gameplay of it later. But there's so much to do in here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.